What if I told you that there is one of the most powerful principles of reality, a principle largely unknown, yet it holds the power to completely and forever transform your life? Would you be interested? Have you ever felt like you're stuck on a hamster wheel? You're running as hard as you can. You've tried all the methods, switched jobs, learned new skills, but your life situation, your financial status, it all seems to be stuck in the same place, unable to break through. You might think the problem is your strategy, your luck, or even your abilities. But today, I want to share a truth with you. Every experience in your outer world is just a mirror of your inner world, and this truth is what we're going to unravel today. The mirror principle. The most mind-bending part about this great transformation is that it doesn't require you to learn any complex new techniques, nor does it ask you to add a single new task to your to-do list. Its core has nothing to do with what you do, but everything to do with who you are. Let's use a very practical example. If your desire is to become a millionaire, the truth is you must first become a person with the mindset and beliefs of a millionaire on the inside, and only then will wealth manifest itself on the outside. Otherwise, you'll just keep jumping between different projects and opportunities, ultimately concluding with frustration that maybe you just don't have what it takes. So, the first and most fundamental learning from this principle is this: if you do not change internally, nothing in the external world will change. I want you to burn that sentence into your mind, because it is the cornerstone of the entire framework. Once you truly master this idea, your life will feel as if you have the Midas touch. However, this requires tremendous courage. It means you must be brave enough to confront your own reflection in that mirror, the true self you've been trying to ignore, or perhaps even dislike. If you are genuinely ready, if you yearn for a significant transformation, then this video is made for you. In the rest of this video, we will completely demystify this principle, and I will also share with you a crucial exercise that I still practice to this day. Get ready. Together, we are going to explore how to make the mirror of reality begin to reflect the life you truly desire. All right, we've established the most basic and vital piece of knowledge. Our external world is a mirror of our internal state. So, the immediate next question is, how exactly does this peculiar mirror operate? To truly use it, you must understand its two core mechanics. Let's start with the first one, which I call the loyal validator. This mirror actually reflects the sum of two things: your relationship with yourself, which is your identity, and your relationship with the world, which is your worldview. You can think of it as your most loyal, most honest friend. This friend's sole mission is to unconditionally validate everything you tell it. About yourself, it never judges, it only agrees. If deep down inside, you quietly tell yourself, "I'm not good enough, I can't do this," this friend will immediately pat you on the shoulder and say, "You're right, you're not good enough." Then, it will instantly start gathering all sorts of evidence in your life to prove this conclusion. For instance, a failed interview, a botched presentation, or a casual glance from someone that you interpret as disdain. You see, it is only faithfully reflecting the signals you send to it. Therefore, our goal is not to fight with the reflection in the mirror that's as futile as wrestling with your own shadow. Our goal is to consciously and proactively change the signal source we are sending to this mirror. So, how do we do that? Specifically, here I will give you the first and most powerful exercise, an exercise to reshape your signal source. Please be sure to find a quiet moment to do this seriously. First step, define your ultimate vision. Imagine yourself, say, 10 years from now, living your most ideal life. On that day, what are you doing that fills you with passion? What do you possess that makes you feel abundant and grateful? What does that picture look like? Second step, identify your ideal identity. Looking at that picture, ask yourself a crucial question. In that state, who am I being? What brilliant traits do I exhibit? Is it confidence, calmness, or a relaxed and loving nature? Then, using the I am ... structure, write down your identity affirmations. For example, I am a magnet for countless brilliant opportunities. Third step, construct your ideal worldview. Continue to ask yourself, living in that experience, how do I perceive the world? Is the world in my eyes full of competition and danger, or collaboration and kindness? Then, in a way that describes the world, write down your worldview affirmations. For example, the entire universe is conspiring to help me. When you repeat these affirmations daily and feel them with your heart, you are actively creating a brand. New you. But this is where the second core mechanic comes into play. And you must understand it, or you will give up in the darkest hour before the dawn. This mechanic is the time delay. Why is there a delay? You can understand it this way. In our inner world, thoughts can change in an instant. But the three-dimensional physical world we inhabit is dense. Matter has its own inertia. It cannot instantly respond to your new blueprint. It's like placing an order online. After you click buy, you receive a confirmation message. You don't get anxious if the delivery person doesn't show up in the next 10 seconds, do you? You trust that the package is on its way. Your positive affirmations are you placing the order, and your subsequent patience and belief are you waiting for delivery. This is where most people fail. They persist for a few days, find that life doesn't seem to change, and so their belief begins to waver and their mood starts to decline. The great irony is that often, just as their mood hits rock bottom, that previous order happens to arrive. But because their state is negative at that moment, the good result doesn't last long. Soon, the mirror of reality begins to reflect their new negative state, plunging them into disappointment once again. This forms a wave cycle of ups and downs from which they can't escape. So, remember this key. Remain absolutely loyal to the new identity and worldview you have chosen until your desire fully manifests. This is the most effective way to promote significant changes in your life. If you've kept up with the pace so far, congratulations, you've grasped the foundation of this principle. But the third key I'm about to share is what I personally find most impactful, and it's something I consciously practice every single day. This key is, the mirror of reality does not reflect the emotion of your thoughts, but the specific content of your thoughts. That sentence might sound a bit convoluted, so let me explain. Imagine the mirror of reality is like a hyper-accurate search engine. Your emotions, like love or hate, are just how hard you press the enter key. But the specific content in your head, those are the key words you're typing in. For example, I'm sick of these endless bills. Do you think the mirror reflects your hate and detest? No, it doesn't understand emotion. It hears your keywords: dead-end job, micromanaging boss, endless bills. And so, this loyal search engine immediately gets to work for you, bringing you more events that make your job feel like a dead end, making your boss even more controlling, and, you guessed it, more bills. The more you complain about what you don't have and what you don't want, the more these things will flood into your life, providing you with more evidence to confirm your worldview that my life sucks. This is the fundamental difference between a scarcity mentality and an abundance mentality. They are simply different points of view. One stares at the empty part of the glass, the other appreciates the part that's already full. So, the key to applying this is incredibly simple. Stop focusing on what you don't want, and start focusing on what you do want and what you already have. Even if it's just a healthy body, a person who loves you, or a tiny bit of progress you've made, then ask yourself, what do I truly want? What does that experience, the one that makes my life feel like a grand journey of discovery, look like? When you continuously invest your mental energy into what you desire, the gap between your current life and your ideal life will begin to close at a visible speed. Okay, take a deep breath, because next up is the fourth and final key. I call it the mirror cycle. This will change everything forever, because once you learn to manipulate this cycle for yourself, you will no longer be so uncertain about what you do. You will literally watch reality slowly change its form right before your eyes. First, let's look at how the vast majority of people, the puppets I mentioned earlier, get trapped in this cycle. The cycle has 3 steps. Observation gives image. Formation gives reflection. Step 1, they observe their current reality. For example, seeing bills to be paid on the table, receiving a critical call from their boss. Step 2, they use this negative observation to form their internal image, the thoughts and feelings of "I'm so unlucky, I don't have enough money." Step 3, the mirror has no choice but to reflect this image, thus creating more financial hardship. Then they observe this worst situation, forming an even more negative image. This is an addictive trap that ensnares countless people. They keep trying various external strategies, new businesses, new courses, but nothing works, because fundamentally their internal worldview and identity have never changed. So, how do you become a creator? The answer is, reverse the process. The creator's cycle also has 3 steps, but in a completely different order. Image formation gives reflection, gives confirmation. Step 1, we first proactively form the image we want in our minds. This is the ideal identity and worldview from our exercise in part 2. In this step, we must consciously turn our backs on our current reality and ignore it. You have to deeply realize that everything around you now is merely a product of your past thoughts. Step 2, as we hold firm to this new image, the mirror will begin to reflect it. Little by little, with a delay, small changes will start to happen, and this 3rd step is the key that turns lead into gold. We no longer observe, we confirm. We take out a magnifying glass and search our lives for evidence that it's working. For example, if you want more confidence, you might notice a colleague listened to you more attentively today. That's the evidence. You have to say to yourself, yes, it's working. Even if most of your world is still falling apart, you must focus only on the bright spots that match your new blueprint and confirm them. The more you do this, the more this positive cycle will accelerate. Eventually, it will snowball and create a reality for you far grander than you ever initially imagined. The only reason I can tell you this with such certainty is because this is the very path I have walked myself. So, as we dive deep into this mirror of reality, we discover an inner power that we often overlook, a power that is immense. Everything we see around us is, in fact, an echo of our inner beliefs, our identity, and our worldview. However, the secret of transformation lies not in passively observing and accepting this reality, but in proactively shaping our inner image. With the person we want to become and the vision we want to achieve, thereby determining our future destiny. When we begin to hold firm to this new inner image, the mirror of reality has no choice but to respond, slowly reshaping itself with small changes, because this mirror itself knows no good or bad, no judgment, and certainly no limits. What it can give you depends entirely on what you offer it. To be honest, at the very beginning of my own journey, I also thought this sounded too abstract, like complete nonsense. But after hitting wall after wall in my life with various external attempts, I decided to suspend my disbelief and truly practice it. And the results can only be described as insane. The things I once desired began to come to me in ways I could never have expected. In the end, the results were even better than my wildest imagination. This is like an alchemist transmuting common lead, our old, limited reality, to brilliant gold, our desired new life, full of possibilities. Every one of us possesses this Midas touch, this inner magic. The key is to shift our focus from the external lead to the blazing fire within our own hearts. Ultimately, our entire journey before this mirror is both a continuous search for our inner truth and a grand celebration of our own ability to create, to innovate, and to transcend. I sincerely hope that the knowledge shared today will become a guiding light on your life's journey, helping you to personally create the reality of your dreams. Thank you so much for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to give it a like and share it with a friend who you feel needs to hear this message of empowerment. More importantly, please leave a comment below and share one I am ... affirmation that you're going to start using. Let's inspire and grow with each other. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so we don't miss each other on the next life-changing exploration. Thanks again for watching. Take care and see you soon.